The British royal family is not just a family, but an institution that operates with millions of pounds and thousands of staff. In fact, Meghan Markle called it a firm in 2021, run with multi-million-pound budgets often overshadowed by the powerful monarchy. Stick around and let's discover how much staff the royal family actually has. There has never been a complete public list of the employees and volunteers working behind the scenes at Buckingham Palace. So Insider took on the task of creating the most detailed list of positions within the royal household, offering the public a glimpse into the vast scale of the modern monarchy.
It's social media strategists, pastry chefs and accountants, surveyors and sales assistants, all sharing in one unique purpose. It's being part of a team where everyone matters and everyone contributes, where rich heritage and new ideas sit side by side.
The searchable database includes 1,133 staff, volunteer, and ceremonial roles within the royal household, providing our best estimate of the entire operation. It ranges from Queen Elizabeth II's closest aides to the numerous daily staff members. The Insider did not include staff for other working royals, like Prince Charles and the Cambridges, or those paid from the Queen's private funds, in this database. Insiders developed this database because the public deserves to understand the true scale of the Queen's operations. The royal household plays a significant role in shaping the monarchy's image, aids the Queen in her duties as head of state, and receives around $116.1 million in taxpayer money for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2021. The royal household operates similarly to an independent branch of the UK government. The Queen and other active royals represent the country in meetings with foreign leaders and undertake official trips abroad to support trade talks and other national interests, all funded by taxpayers. The UK government frequently uses the royal family in diplomatic efforts to strengthen alliances with other nations. Despite this, the public knows very little about the individuals who assist the Queen in her official roles, their responsibilities, or their compensation. Buckingham Palace employs private secretaries, government liaison officers, and media officers who help the Queen represent the UK and protect the Crown from scandal and public scrutiny. Unlike positions under elected officials, these roles aren't disclosed to the public. In response to Insider's detailed request for comment and a review of the database, a Buckingham Palace spokesperson challenged its accuracy but did not provide specific corrections or further information. The spokesperson stated, "The database does not reflect an accurate picture of the royal household and its operations. It is disappointing to find glaring inaccuracies and outdated information being relied on for a series of ill-informed and baseless claims about the operations of the royal household." Insider is pioneering this documentation of the royal household, a task that royal historian Marlene Koenig believes is long overdue. "They don't put it in one place," Koenig said. "This provides greater transparency, revealing who's who and what they do. It's a research tool, it's a reference book, and should be something that's available."
Because at the end of the day, at the end of every day, it's the work, the people, the purpose, the pride. It's the everyday made exceptional.
The royal household is comprised of 5 departments, but only the Royal Collection Trust releases an annual report listing its employees and their titles, from the director to retail workers. The Royal Collection Trust functions similarly to a museum, overseeing and curating the Queen's extensive art collection and managing the public access to occupied royal palaces. This department is distinct because it's funded by ticket sales and other activities. According to its latest trustees report, the Royal Collection Trust spent £17 million on wages and salaries for over 450 staff members in the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2021. The rest of the royal family doesn't reveal the names and positions of its staff, who are funded by taxpayers. The UK government has supported the monarch financially since 1760. Since 2012, this public funding for the Queen's official duties is called the Sovereign Grant. Each year, the UK Treasury decides the amount based on a percentage of the Crown Estate's profits. This estate includes land, property, and mineral rights that have been handed down through the monarchy for centuries. It isn't the Queen's personal property, and all its income goes to the National Treasury. The latest Sovereign Grant report reveals that the royal household spent £44.1 million on staff and household operations and £49.5 million on restoring and maintaining the Queen's residences. The report shows that the palace exceeded its budget by £1.6 million for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2021. Unlike the Royal Collection Trust report, the Sovereign Grant report doesn't list employees by name or title. It reported 508 full-time equivalent staff in 2021, but Insider was able to identify 400 of these roles, meaning our database may undercount the actual number of people working for the Queen. The staff funded by the Sovereign Grant work in 4 main departments that handle the daily operations of the household: the Private Secretary's Office, the Privy Purse and Treasurer's Office, the Master of the Household's Department, and the Lord Chamberlain's Office. In our database, we note when a position is a parliamentary appointment. Although these roles are officially part of the royal household, the individuals in these positions receive their salaries through Parliament. Insider identified 270 additional roles, marked with asterisks in the database, filled by volunteers, appointees, or individuals receiving a small stipend for ceremonial duties, some of whom hold significant influence due to their closeness to the Queen. We also added a 6th unofficial department to our database to highlight the role of ladies-in-waiting and equerries, who are personally chosen by the Queen. Insider took on the enormous task of detailing everyone in the royal household, said Baron Henri Estremont, a royal expert and founder of Royal Bridges, a society for artists from various royal families. These individuals work behind the scenes but play a crucial role in supporting the head of state. The royal institution has endured for over 1,000 years, outlasting many others, so it's vital to acknowledge the people leading it into the future.
Buckingham has served many purposes over the years, but some think its glory days are behind it. Let's take a tour of Buckingham Palace for an inside look at where the royals used to call home.
You see, it's much smaller, isn't it?
Although few people outside the UK are familiar with the inner workings of a royal household, shows like Downton Abbey and The Crown have sparked widespread curiosity. Darren McGrady, Queen Elizabeth's former chef, even compared life at the palace to one of these popular shows, saying, "I had a room at the palace. When I lived there, it was very much like a show called Downton Abbey." For many, these shows reveal that not only royalty, but also numerous staff members live full-time within royal residences. Buckingham Palace, for example, has ample space. According to the royal website, it features 19 staterooms, 52 royal and guest bedrooms, 188 staff bedrooms, 92 offices, and 78 bathrooms. Imagine how much vacuuming that entails. The number of people residing in the Grand Palace may have shifted long-term due to the pandemic and the passing of the Queen's beloved husband, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. What initially seemed like temporary changes may now become more permanent as time goes on. The changes due to the pandemic and Prince Philip's passing will undoubtedly affect the staff in ways we don't fully know yet. But usually, many of those 188 staff bedrooms are occupied. Adrian Tinniswood's book, Behind the Throne, A Domestic History of the British Royal Household, reveals that the staff enjoy amenities like a staff gym, swimming pool, squash court, and tennis court. A former royal footman, identified as Thomas, shared with Silver Swan recruitment that staff could take a day off and visit the private staff bar inside the palace, though it's since been removed after a few too many morning drinking sessions. He also noted some of our parties made the papers. So, it seems Buckingham Palace might not be as rigid a place to live as one might expect. If the King does end up staying at Windsor Castle permanently, the number of staff at Buckingham Palace is likely to decrease. The pandemic already led to staff reductions, and it's uncertain how many will remain full-time at the royal residence. Those working closely with the Queen may need to relocate to Windsor, according to the Telegraph. However, it's difficult to imagine Buckingham Palace being maintained without at least some staff living there, even if the royal family members have moved out. Unlike his mother's broad royal circle, King Charles III aimed to create a more streamlined monarchy with a core group of working members. A week before Coronation Day, his lifelong goal was nearly achieved. Bunting adorned London streets, and St. Edward's crown was polished and prepared for the new monarch. As King Charles approached this pivotal moment, his straightforward sister Anne, Princess Royal, had a word of caution. When a Canadian journalist asked her opinion on his vision for a leaner, more cost-effective monarchy, she was typically blunt. "Well, I think the slimmed-down monarchy was proposed at a time when there were more people around," she said during an interview at St. James's Palace. "From where I'm standing, it doesn't sound like a great idea. I'm not quite sure what else we can do." Of course, slimming down the monarchy would have led to a reduction in staff numbers, but confirmed data is not available. As the longest-serving heir apparent in British history, Charles had 7 decades to shape his vision for his reign. At some point during Queen Elizabeth II's reign, he decided to make changes. In the Elizabethan era, the balcony at Buckingham Palace was often crowded with the family, each time they appeared to greet their subjects. After all, share your thoughts about the staff of the royal family in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more secret updates on the royal family. See you in the next video.